Hello, Libra, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of April 20th through the 26th. And during that time, we will have a waning gibbous moon that moves into that last quarter moon on the 21st. And that's a really good time for reflection, releasing what no longer serves us, preparing for new beginnings, kind of letting go, taking responsibility for past actions, and moving forward with a clear vision. We then move into the waning crescent, which is a really good time for surrender, rest, and healing, and just kind of getting ready for the next cycle ahead. This will be an intuitive general reading for energies that you may or may not encounter this week. So, of course, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't for someone else. All right, Libra, your overall message card for this reading is a win-win outcome is forecast. All right, that sounds great. Let's see what you guys have going on this week. And Libra, as I'm shuffling, I would like to say that since my readings are free to you, all I ask in return is that you hit that subscribe button. It really helps my channel and it's super easy for you to do. So I'll give you a moment to do that right now. Thank you so much. And if you've been a subscriber, thank you so much for coming back and helping me build a community here. I see you and I do appreciate you so much. All right, my weekly reminder this week is to get out in nature. Go take a walk in the woods, find a beautiful park or an area with a lovely view. You know, if you're lucky enough to, well, let's see if these cards want to shuffle. If you're lucky enough to live around water, you know, if you live by the ocean, first, let me say how jealous the rest of us are. But if you're around water and you can go somewhere where you can hear water, such a great way to relax, hear the waves coming, or just the trickle of a creek. You know, even the lapping of waves on a lake, not too bad, but make time to get out in nature this week and just close your eyes and connect and just really, really enjoy nature. So just my little happy reminder for the week. All right, Libra, April 20th through the 26th, a win-win outcome is forecast. All right, your overall energy, Libra, is that you're sitting in a place here with the Four of Pentacles of just feeling, you know, very balanced and stable and in a good place. You know, this would be kind of in your material world typically, but it could also just be your mental world, is that you're just very balanced, very stable, know who you are, know where you are. Good, great. You know, that's a good energy to have. Your current situation is that you're thinking about the future here with the Three of Wands. You're thinking about, you know, new ventures. This is sometimes this is a card of travel, so you may be thinking ahead about a little trip or a vacation, or you know, some sort of little break that you have coming up, or new ventures. This could be, you know, just kind of a new way of being, or you know, this you're thinking about a new job or moving, you know, into some new side hustle, just some new thing that you're kind of pondering and thinking about. At the root of this situation is the Knight of Cups. So, you know, it seems like you're wanting to move forward in some sort of action that is kind of based in emotion, that it's kind of um that maybe you're wanting to just move forward in life in a different way, but and it's coming up from some sort of emotion that you're having. So that's kind of, it's just bringing up like, oh, I need to make some changes. You know, you're having some sort of feelings that are making you feel like that you do need to be having these thoughts about the future and and thinking about new ventures and things that you might want to do. In your recent past is the Lover's card. So coming out of a place of just stability, it looks like, you know, in your romantic life, and that might be, you know, this might be spurring this on, is that you're maybe having discussions with your partner about things, and it's, you know, taking things to a different level. And so you're thinking about these new ventures and new things that can do that, and you're already in a stable place, but you know, you're kind of thinking, you know, what do we want to do in the future? How do we want to move things forward and maybe take just the next step? What is on your mind this week is the Knight of Wands. So, you know, you're feeling this you're kind of feeling a need for expediency on it, you know, where the Knight of Cups is kind of our steady emotional kind of moving forward. The Knight of Wands is a little more quicker with the action. Right. And knights are our action cards. Knights are about, you know, getting things done when it comes to their suit. So, This is something that maybe, your heart's feeling it, but it's kind of the passion. There's a fire, and it's making you want to think a little bit quicker. You don't want to slow down with this horse. You're ready to kind of take things to the next level and move in a little bit quicker pace. What is just ahead of you is the Six of Cups. So definitely also thinking about, reminiscing on the past. This could be you thinking about, maybe your childhood, and maybe, how things were for you in your childhood, maybe thinking about an old friend or something there's something that's making you kind of reminisce also, this week. That's kind of in your future, that whatever these thoughts and feelings are that coming up, it's making you kind of think about that and think about your past. That's never a bad thing. In your advice position is, you're kind of feeling a little bit stuck here. This is with this Eight of Swords, but this is the card that shows you that whatever situation you're in mentally, that you can think your way out of this. And if it is brought on by something here, think your way out of it. You've done it before, you have that power. The fact that that's in your advice position just says that you can do that. It's not, um, it's not something that's going to hold you back. It's kind of your advice is to think your way out of this, think your way forward. You're already on that with this Three of Wands here, that you are thinking of like new ventures, but keep continuing to do that. That's your advice, is to think your way out. What is beyond your control is some hard work here with the Eight of Pentacles. So, you're not getting out of this without thinking about it. And look, we've got two eights right next to each other. Is this, you're thinking about, what kind of new venture, it could be financial, it could be something work related that you're thinking about, but it's beyond your control. You're going to have to buckle down and do the work this week. And this could just be work on yourself, work on thinking about these things and kind of putting together, like I said, you're going to have to think your way through this situation, and you can do it. You're completely capable of doing that. What is your secret desire? What you're trying to avoid is the Hermit card. So, this is our card of inner searching and using your inner wisdom. Are you avoiding your inner wisdom, or is that your secret desire, is to kind of access that, to use that as a tool as you're working through whatever this might be for you, Libra? So that's kind of your big question this week, is where are you sitting with this Hermit card? Is it, do you have the inner wisdom and strength? I think you do. I feel like this card is saying you can think your way out of this. You've got this. You can move forward in a positive way. But and know that that Hermit card might be the key. And if you're trying to kind of avoid that, you might want to think about that and think, you know what? Let me just get quiet and go within, and let this Hermit card, let me, you know, go into myself and find the answers in there, right? The answer's always inside of you. In your outcome position is the High Priestess, which just really confirms that. I mean, here is the card of using your intuition, using the things inside of you. That's the Hermit card as well. So in your outcome is saying that you know the answers to these things that you're thinking about and pondering, and maybe, it's these action cards that are, it's the root of the situation and it's on your mind. And the root of the situation is that things are maybe moving pretty slow and steady. It's on your mind to want to move faster. So calm down, let's just take a breath there and let things move at the pace they want to. But definitely take that time to reminisce on your past, because that might be some clue as to how you can get out of this, how you can think your way through, and not even out of the situation, just kind of think your way through the situation. I'm not even getting the feeling that you're stuck. It's just that that's your advice, is that you can think your way through this, and that those answers are within you. It's in both of those cards right there. So don't forget to, not only look outside of yourself for the answers, but make sure that you're looking inward as well. And again, your overall message is a win-win forecast, is it's going to be a winner for everybody. What is hidden from you this week, Libra, is the Queen of Wands. So let's not forget what is driving your passion. What is it that you love? And keep those things at the root of all of your decision making when it comes to the things that you're thinking about maybe making a change on there, Libra. Let's get a final word here from the Soul Oracle deck, which I think this is a pretty mellow week. As I'm looking through, I do see 2H. You may want to look up angel number 88. See if that means anything for your week. I also see couple of sixes there. But yeah, 66, 88 might be some numbers that might be relevant to you this week, or angel numbers. I always find those very helpful, when I'm thinking about things that if I have a number pattern that's repeating for me, I'll go look up that meaning, and sometimes it's very helpful. Laugh at your demons is your first card here. We're going to draw 2 from this deck this week and begin to explore. So, laughing at your demons, this might go back to this Hermit card. Are you kind of avoiding going within because you don't have faith in yourself to know that you do have those answers? Because you do. This is, it's very Wizard of Oz, right? There's no place like home, and everything you need you've had all along. So those answers are within you, and that's your big question. Are you trying to avoid, excuse me, this week going within and really trusting your intuition, trusting your subconscious, trusting that these things that are on your mind are what you need to be doing, because that seems to be what the message is here of this reading. And you can think your way through this, and you can totally do that. And if you do that, Libra, again, it's a winner for everyone in the situation, you, your partner, and whoever else might be involved in this. So Libra, I wish you the best of luck with this reading. I really appreciate your time here with me. I don't see that you have a crazy week. It's kind of like everyone else. All the readings this week have been very internal. People are very, like just really sitting in a very contemplating things, and I don't see anybody making any big moves this week. It's just kind of a mellow week where, things are on your mind, you're kind of mulling things over. So anyway, if you're comfortable sharing, please leave me a comment down below. I'd love to know what it is that you're mulling over. What kind of changes are you looking to make? And if you have any questions, you can also leave a question in the comment there. I'd be happy to get back with you and give any answers that you might have. So I do post readings every week, Libra. So come back next week and we'll see if this energy remains the same or if there's a completely new energy here for you. Also, once again, if you like my reading style, please like and subscribe to my channel. It really does help my channel, and I would appreciate that so much. And most importantly, it will help you find me next week. So, Libra, thank you so much for being here, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.